Hello students, today we are going to start biodiversity. So children, what is biodiversity? So children, biodiversity refers to a variety of plants, animals and microorganisms. That means Earth is home to a diverse variety of plants, animals and microorganisms. This variety of living organisms is called biodiversity. Do you know that all plants do not grow everywhere and all animals do not live in all regions either? For example, you can take like banyan tree, teak tree, they all grow better in a forest along with plants. In the same way, animals like monkeys, elephants, they also live in the forest. That means that is their habitat. Habitat we have learnt. What is habitat? The place where a particular plant or animal lives and grows is called the habitat of that organism. That means here you can see the plants found in a particular area are called flora, while the animals found in a particular area are called fauna of that area. For example, here you can see animals like leopard, chinkara, wild dog, which are found in the fauna of the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. In the same way, teak, jamun, sal, mango, all these are found at the flora of Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. Children, our next topic, that is species. What is species? Species is a group of population which are capable of interbreeding. This means that the member of a species can reproduce fertile offspring only with the members of their own species and not with members of other species. Offspring, their babies, their kids, they can reproduce within their own members and not with other members of other species. Members of a species have common characteristics. Now children, some species are restricted to a particular region or area and are not found anywhere else. And these species are termed as endemic species. That means they are found exclusively in a particular area. So our next topic, that was endemic species. In a particular area, they are not found everywhere. They can be endemic to a zone, state or country. For example, here you can take sal and wild mango are examples of endemic flora of Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. In the same way, here you can say pitcher plant, that is endemic to Meghalaya. In the same way, bison, Indian giant squirrel and flying squirrel, they are endemic fauna of this area. So children, our next topic that we are going to learn, that is extinct animals, endangered animals and ecosystem. Now what do you mean by extinct animals? Children, due to constant hunting and encroachment of habitat, some of the animals no longer exist. The last of these animals have died. These animals are called extinct animals or species. That means these animals have completely finished from the universe. due to hunting and encroachment of their habitat. Encroachment, कब्जा कर लेना, है ना? Due to deforestation, their habitat, they have lost their habitat, and due to that, some of these species no longer exist. And these animals are called extinct animals or species. As you can see here, dodo. Some other species are nearing extinction, or we can say they are on the verge of extinction, and these animals are called endangered species or animals. That means they are on the verge of extinction. For example, here you can see snow leopard. You can see the picture of snow leopard. So they are on the verge of extinction. खत्म होने के कगार पे हैं. Our next topic, that is ecosystem. Ecosystem. What do you mean by ecosystem? Ecosystem you can see it comprises of both abiotic and biotic components. You can see here, you can see both the living as well as non-living things. That means a system formed by the interaction of organisms like plants, animals, insects and microorganisms in an area with the non-living components of nature like soil, water and climatic conditions is called an ecosystem. Even you can say a pond, a forest and a grassland are also an example of our ecosystem. You can see that, children, we kill animals without giving a thought about it. Killing even small animals like frogs, lizards, birds can have a negative impact on the ecosystem where they live. That means that affects the food chain and the food web of our system. That's why this chapter is completely about conservation. You have to conserve each and every natural resources, each and every species of this universe. Children, our next topic, that is Red Data Book. Children, you know about IUCN. What do you mean by that? What is the full form of IUCN? That is the International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. They used to maintain a list in a book called the Red Data Book. The Red Data Book classifies animals and plants into different groups based on the risk of endangerment and extinction. Endangered animals and plant species are classified into different categories of perceived risk such as critically endangered, endangered and vulnerable. Children, our next topic, that is migration. Children, you have heard about some birds used to move from one region to another, or from one state to another, one country to another. So here you can see that certain species of birds and fishes that move from one region to another with weather changes. Like fishes they also move from freshwater to salt water. And such species of birds and fishes, they move from one region to another. They are termed as migratory species. And why do they move from one region to another? They move in search for food, breeding, and to avoid unfavorable conditions. For example, here you can see Siberian crane, one of the most common migratory birds. which comes to India every year from Siberia when it is winter there. It comes to warmer place in India, such as Bharatpur, that is in Rajasthan. In the same way, here you can see monarch butterflies are credible creatures. They spend their summer days in the northern part of Canada and then migrate to the south for the winter. That means they move from one region to another, and that is termed as migration. The species or animal moving from one region to another region is termed as migration, and such species are termed as migratory species. Our next topic, that is recycling of paper. Recycling of paper is another way by which deforestation can be curbed. As you know that children, paper is made from wood pulp that is produced from the wood of forest tree. Therefore, it is one of the important products we get from the forest and thus a major cause of deforestation. By recycling paper, we can make new things out of used or waste paper. As you can see that the newspaper that we read in the morning is also made of recycled paper. Now, what are the benefits of recycled or recycling paper? What are the benefits? By recycling newspaper, you can save at least 17 fully grown trees. That means here you can see that 17 full grown trees are used to make a ton of paper. A ton of paper, that means 17 full grown trees are cut to make a ton of paper. In the same way, here you can see recycling paper can reduce sulfur dioxide emissions, even the pollution level. Recycling that saves the several liters of water. It saves several liters of water. It saves electricity. Even the pollution level is also being reduced by recycling the paper. As a student, what role you can play to save paper? What role you can play to save paper? If each student saves at least one sheet of paper in a day, we can save many trees in a year. That means we should save, reuse used paper and recycle it. By this, we are not only saving the trees, but also we used to save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. Moreover, you can say that the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making will also be reduced. So, in our part, that means we have to reuse the paper at least 4 to 5 times. So children, our next topic, that is reforestation. What do you mean by reforestation? Reforestation is a restocking of the destroyed forest. Restocking, that is the forest that have been destroyed in the past, that has to be created again. How can you create it again? By planting new trees. That means efforts are being made to plant trees and recreate forests that have been destroyed in the past. and this effort is called a reforestation. That means you have to plant trees, and that plant should generally be of the same species which were found in that forest. That means we should plant at least as many trees as we cut. Reforestation can take place naturally also if the deforested area is left undisturbed. It re-establishes itself. That means if that land is being left undisturbed, the same tree can be grown naturally. In natural reforestation, there is no role of human being. We can say that in natural way, for reforestation, there is no role of human being. That means we have already caused tremendous damage to our forest. And now, if we have to retain our green wealth for future generation, then plantation of more trees is the only option. That means afforestation. That means planting more and more trees. How much trees you have cut down in the past? More than that, you have to grow for the future generation. So students, here we have come to the end of this chapter. And in this chapter, we have learnt how to preserve and conserve our natural resources. Hope you have understood the lesson. Thank you.